Hi everyone, Christine at SparkBird here, and today I worked on the JJ Mass Make March Challenge, the hashtag that's going around. Corey had invited me to participate, and I thought, well, what fun would that be? Let's do it. So since my recent method of doing the covered paper clips was such a mass make thing, I thought, well, let's start there. And what I did instead to meet the challenge criteria, which is you have to make at least 4 pieces of ephemera out of one 12 by 12 or one sheet of paper, that I thought, well, what can I do along those lines? And this is where we wound up. So these are little pockets, and they're all a little bit different, and they did come from one 12-inch by 12-inch paper that you'll see later when I show you the method. And the differences between them are simple. This guy's 2 pockets. This is just decoration and clip and bookmark on this side. You know, it comes off. This is a pocket here, and if you move this to the side of a page, let's do that, you could put something else right in here. So that's like a triple. Do I get extra points for that? But so that's all pocket. And then this one's a little bit different in that it is a pocket, and it has a nice little French tag in it from a button shop. But if you open it up, there are photos in it. And I keep the clip on it. You know, once it's in your journal long enough, it will stay closed. But I just made this an hour ago, so I use this little clip to keep it closed. And there you have it. So similar idea, but very different than what I usually make. And, you know, again, just to spark some of your creativity. So let's go, and I will show you how this is done. It's very easy and simple. Okay, so it is as simple as making those paper clips. There are a couple of differences and things that you need to be aware of, but essentially it's the same initial setup and then a little bit of change. So one thing is you do want to use probably a double-sided sheet of paper, and this is a piece of just scrapbook paper that I printed on the other side. This is from one of my kits, the Seamstress Garrett coordinated papers. And so it's 2-sided. So however you get your 2-sided paper, get some 2-sided paper. It's 12 by 12, and we are going to get 4 different pieces of ephemera out of this. So the first thing we're going to do, very much like the paper clips, is we're going to fold so that our first fold is at 4.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5 is going to be these dots right here that I'm going to fold to. And I'm going to line up my edges, and that should be well enough. And this is just basic regular scrapbook paper. So now I'll be putting on 4 sets, 2 each, of paper clips. And they're going to go basically every 3 inches. We can move them around. We want to get them all on to do the initial folds though, because it really helps keep everything even. So again, big side up, longer side up on this folded side, and even them up. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to just line them up now so I know that they're all within my 3 inches, because this is where we're going to be cutting. And I'm going to cut with a knife, as you can well imagine. So I want to be able to just come in and slice. I am often about efficiency. So now I'm just lining this fold up. I can feel the bottom of the paper clip. I'm lining this fold up with that. Easy enough. You've been there before. Now we're going to fold it over and fold over this little flap. And then we could just roll it so that we line up with the bottom of the paper clips. And that will make this fold, just by tucking it over. That'll make that fold. And now we are going to fold against here. So like making the flush version of paper clips. All right, so now is where we begin to want to make choices. So for fun, we could just fold this over. No, let's not. Let's make our choices now. So, okay, so now I'm going to divide these up into 4 separate pieces of ephemera with a knife and a ruler. The ruler seems to have disappeared. There's the ruler. Okay, so I'm looking at this, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna line this up. And you know me, I like straight things. We've talked about this. So it was really generous and kind for Corey to invite me to be a part of this, and that she did a little mention, a shout out for me and the paper clips when she did them on her channel. So I was very excited to try and do this, and then I was thinking, oh geez, what do I do? And since these paper clips are such mass make things, I thought, well, let's stay with them for a while. People don't seem sick of them yet, and this is a very different take on them. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's been a crazy good week on YouTube and whatnot. I'm really happy I've decided to do this. The outpouring of support from other creative people has just been so like mind-bending. Okay, so here we are. We've got our 4, and we'll just pick one. And the thing we're going to do now is fold it backward. We're going to fold this one backward and line it up with our first, with that folded edge. Okay. Then we open that up. I'm going to fold this in. And this is going to make pocket number 1. Okay, so now we have a nice coordinated but two-tone. We snip this off. Please note the use of scissors. You could use anything you want. I just usually use knives. Okay, so that's basically one. Now we're going to leave that there. Now one thing I didn't mention is that before I cut this, I would have had to have decided on which side of the page I thought I might put this, because these are not omnidirectional in this format, because you know this is a tuck spot and you don't want to tuck stuff upside down. So I would have had to know that it was going to clip on this side. Like so, okay? So it's just something you need to decide before you make this diagonal fold, because had I wanted it on this side, I would have folded, of course, this way. So something to think about. All right, so now comes a time when we would ink and round corners. I am going to round corners, and because I'm going to put this in my journal, I'm probably going to ink it too. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch on this type of chomper. It allows me to get to most of the corners easily. Now it does not allow me to get to this corner without opening it all up. And I want to get to that corner because I think that rounding this corner helps this piece go onto the page better. That it's easier to find the opening when the corners are rounded than when they are not. So I tend to take it apart and round, and you can see I'm like fussing with this corner here. It's not chomping the way I want. Maybe there, that's better. Okay, so now we just put these back in, and this is really thin paper, thinner than I actually have used before with regular paper clips. So we'll see. I think it will be fine, but I'm just noticing it's thinner. So hopefully, if it's good, and I think it will be because there's so many layers, that you can use any paper. All right, so now it's the usual glue, and we're going to start as usual here. And I'm using a lot less glue than I was when I first started making these, because it's glued so often, you know, being flipped over so many times, that too much glue was just too much glue. So now we'll fold this flap down. Just a little glue there. And now we're going to put some glue on here. Oh, that always pops up. And you still want to get close to the edge because you want a nice sealed edge. And that's all I did was the edge on that one. All right, so doesn't that look very familiar? Okay, so now here's where things change up a little. So now, on this side, we have a choice. I know I'm going to make this a pocket. I know it. I could cut this off, but the reinforcement of having this fold here, I'm leaving it. I am going to glue it down a little so that if things were inserted into this pocket, it couldn't catch this edge and pull it up. So just gluing down that area there. Now we're going to glue down for the pocket part, which we could use super skinny glue for and get the biggest pocket possible. So let's stay close to the edge. And we only have to do these two, technically. Doesn't hurt to come up a little bit to make that corner not catch, you know, from the outside. All right. So there's part one, pocket one. Now this opens up and we can decorate in there. And I've got two little friends here I'm thinking of putting here and letting them be just cute. Maybe brother and sister. I don't know, maybe, yeah, let's put them both in here. I have another one that I might use on yet another little pocket. So let's put this little fellow on. Oh, I didn't ink. Oh, silly me. Well, there, you don't have to watch me ink. Maybe I'll ink the next one. Let's put our little friend here. It's really cute. Okay, so there's those two. And that would open up like that. And then let me grab something, a little ticket to show that this can go in here, like so. And the whole jobber goes right onto a page. So it's at the end of a page, and you could open it up. If you wanted to, you could take a clip, like this small little Tim Holtz clip, and clip it closed. Oh, assuming you actually hit the two of them. And that would keep it closed until you want to open it. So there's one, and it sort of looks like I should decorate this front part too. So let's see, what do I have around here? We'll just put a stamp on it. How's that? I have a lot of old vintage stamps from all sorts of places. Let's see who strikes us. Czechoslovakia. That has a little of my heritage. A lot of these are from Czechoslovakia. Oh, it looks like maybe all of them. Nope, Canada. Oh, but I'm saving that one. I have a different project, but I kind of like how that looks, so I'm going to go with that. You just put that. You know, you could use book page scraps. I probably could have just licked it. You could use book page scraps or whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I like that. I'm just going to put this down here. Lovely. Okay, so there's one. Now, without losing the pin to the glue, I hope I was even on film, on camera for that. Okay, Christine is threading a needle. Okay, so there's one. I'll just leave that in there and we might use it again. Now the next one is similar. I'll speed up the gluing and the rounding and all of that. It's easier for me if I just take all this out now. And I can round. And do the same thing. And then I did this one I hadn't folded yet, so now I'm going to fold this way. Wrong way. Fold this way, but it actually helped to fold it first the other way. And again, make sure I don't like it when it bleeds over the edge too much. And then this we are going to fold in to make a little pocket there, like so. Okay, so here you go this way. So you can see this way, the pocket is going to slide on the page from this direction, like so. And then we can continue with our gluing and corner rounding. Okay, so I just want to glue this down again, just so it doesn't get caught when somebody uses it as a pocket. Okay, so this. Okay, so we still have to trim this side. Go to like so, and then jump again because we missed that part. It wasn't folded over that way. And this one too. Okay, so it's all beautiful and good. And I was a little messy in my cutting there, but that's all right. Okay, so now this one, I'm actually also going to make this a pocket. So for that, I first want to give it a little bit of a thumb hole. So I'm going to eyeball this, and I'm going to ink it. I'm going to ink it so it says, look at me, I'm a thumb hole. And then while I'm there, let's ink this too, make me happy. I could probably ink the whole thing and make me joyful. Okay, enough inking for now. All right, so now the gluing of this is similar but different, and you know, we've already glued that down. So now we're going to glue this into a pocket. Oh, put the paper clips back in. Otherwise, it loses a lot of its function if you don't put the paper clips back in. Okay, so once the paper clips are back in, now we can glue. So I'm going to glue. I took off the whole lid of that glue by mistake. We'll glue these, and again, using less glue than before, but still some. Put that up. That should just keep those edges together. And now we glue the flap down. And now I've been coming onto this one along the edge, especially those side edges, and then down through the middle. Send that back up. And now we are going to glue this as a pocket. So we only want to go around the edge there. And we're going to do that. There is some glue there. And I'm going to come just down here, trying to stay as close to the edge as I can. That wasn't very close, but it will do. I tend to do that side even though it's folded over, just for a little more fortification. I hate when things come apart when you don't want them to. There are enough things that fall apart on their own, but if you can plan for it. Okay, so now this little booger here, we are going to come up on this corner to make sure that we seal this rounded area. And then it's just here and here. And clean up your glue. And close up your glue. And there's number 2. Okay, I'm just going to borrow this out of here. So here you have a pocket there, and you have a pocket there. So you've got a double pocket, number 2. And again, decorate however you prefer. You can stamp. That might be nice, something stamped here. All right, so now the next one is kind of exciting for me because I've not actually done it yet. It's just in my head. So on this one, we are going to do what we've been doing. I need to decide which side of the journal I want this on. I think I'm going to want it to slide on this way. So I'm going to want my pocket on this side. Actually, this doesn't even need a pocket. How interesting is that? But it could have a pocket, so I'm going to stay with this. So here we go. And I'm going to fold this in. So my idea for this is, wait, let me pay more attention to this cut because I was very sloppy the last time. There we go. Okay, so let's just round the corners now, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. and then come in here to my little flippers. Make sure I get these. And then do the inky thing if it's your thing. All right, so now for these, let's put the paper clips back in while we consider our options and see how this will work. I'm going to put the paper clip here and the paper clip here. Now for this, oh, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so that's going to close up like that. So what we're going to do now, this way. Okay, so it actually does not work this if I do it this way with a pocket. So I'm going to unpocket this. I could fold it. No, I'm going to do this and I'm going to trim. And just trim it right here. Like I said, this is only in my head. And sometimes things don't come out of my head just the same way as they existed in my head. Okay, so now we have simply this, no pocket. Pretend we didn't fold that. And I'm going to here, using first my little circle guide. Which size? That one's too small, that one's too big. I'm going to use this one and a piece of algebra. This is an old algebra book. And I'm going to take some algebra and ink it for all the right reasons. Maybe I should put a little more ink on this. So I've been so busy with the this one book that I'm so dying to show you. I mean, I'm really excited by it. It's right there. And you don't know how much I want to just grab it and show it to you and see, but I'm really loving it. And I hope that others appreciate it as much as I do. It really doesn't matter though, because I love it so much. But I hope that you'll like it and use some of the techniques in it. So now what I was thinking is making kind of a marker with this. I'm going to stick this on here and use this little brad just as a decoration, bookmark, however you like it. So here I'm going to just stick this brad in here. Now this is really gentle paper, brittle paper, old paper, so it shouldn't take much to get the brad in. There we go. And then I am going to use some glue because I don't want the brad to rip out. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of, oh, I took off the whole lid, didn't even notice. All right, so let me wipe a little bit of that off. It is definitely unnecessary. I needed like a little drop of it. There. Okay, so I'm going to stick this, my little brad, in my little flower that I deflowered from a really ugly, hideous, glittery Joanne Fabrics flower thing. Okay, so now I'm going to put this, the little brad, through here on just one side. So it's still open. I have not glued it shut. I'm going to stick it so it sticks up a little bit. It's kind of in the center. Oh, it bent over. There we go. It wants to go through there. All right, that's cute. And I don't do cute. I really don't. I'm not good at cute. I'm not good at, I don't know, I just cute and me. I'm more like grunge. All right, so I'm bending down the brad, and now I'm just going to glue this all shut. And then it's going to be a clip with a little flower on it. And you can continue to decorate down there. Now I think I'm going to, again, just for a little reinforcement, let's stick some glue under there to keep the flower in place. I want to keep the petals free, but that beginning center part could definitely be glued down. Okay, so I'm not going to use this glue because I don't need any fancy little pockets. I'm going to use the heavy duty. And then probably could have glued this part earlier before I decorated that flappy part, but I didn't. So now we're going to do our glue just like before. Nothing new here. Okay, so now we want to glue both of these together. So actually I could have and should have and may, now that I'm thinking about it, come through both of these pieces of paper just for the sturdiness of it. So let's say, yeah, definitely should have. So let's do that. Let's try and get it in a place where it's meaningful. There we go. And sort of straight. Yeah, I should have done that. I should have done that first, but I did it now. And that will help. That'll help anchor that to this. And then we glue. And that's really it. So I could have glued in here, and I should have glued in there. See? But you get the idea. So now we're just going to come up to the edges of all of this. Just around these edges. You should glue this part before you poke in the flower. But no harm, no foul. So make sure that's stuck in, and now just glue in this last part. Hi friends, Christine is back, and I realized while I was editing the video, getting it ready to go up, that this one that was in my head and came out of my head didn't come out of my head exactly as it was in my head, as I suggested might happen, because this one could actually still be a pocket. And here I said, oh, it can't be a pocket, it can't be this, but it can be, and I'm going to show you how. So here's where we started with this guy, more or less, you know, the same stuff. And we're going to glue it up. I'll go fast through this part because you've seen this 4,000 times. Okay, so one thing I noticed, I did not fully round the corners on this side, so I'm going to do that now. I thought I had gotten them all. Okay, so here we are at the point at which this would be a normal SparkBird paperclip if we had just glued this shut. But now, to make this, what we're going to do, very simply, we're going to make it a pocket, and we're going to put this a little lower on the piece. So let's do that. Let's make it a pocket in its own right. Okay, that was a little lower than it needed to be, but it'll work. Then we are going to take, again, a brad, more algebra. I actually like algebra. It is handy. Like 3 times in my adult life, it has saved my life to figure something out. And honestly, when I really need to figure out something algebraically, I ask my husband. He's really good at it. So I'm going to take the little jobber here. I'm going to put the brad through it. Like so. I'm going to put the brad and the little jobber there through there, and we are now just going to put the brad through one section. So the floppier section is going to take the flower. I'm just poking it through. I'm not going to bother gluing it just because I'm just demonstrating how to structure it. No, if you're making these, I'd stick some glue in between all of these areas. So now we do want to glue this shut because that will protect anything from the brad. So I'm going to glue this absolutely closed so that nothing can seep in here. And you're not going to use that part as the pocket. The other side's going to be the pocket. So that here, press it down, give it a little love. Now, okay, you know I'm dying to do this because it's a hole. It's a thumb hole. Okay, so now using the more skinny glue, now we are going to create this into a pocket by just going along the edge and like I said, I even come up here just to keep things together. Fold this over, and now we do in fact have a cute little clip pocket decoration. Let me grab one of these, and now this can go straight in here. The brad is sandwiched between the two sheets, so it's not going to catch on anything. So there you have it. I just thought I'd come in because as I was watching myself make it on video for the first time, I thought, no, that's not what you thought. So this is what I thought, and you can adjust this any way you like in terms of where the flower goes and how the pocket is. The pocket could even be on the side, but I didn't want to finish this and not show you that. So when this goes in the journal, it will go like so, and still have a pocket. Beautiful. So there you have it. All right, so I do have this little piece of marbled paper. I'm going to make it into a tag, and I'm going to use my little jobber here. Actually, let's use a slightly larger one. That one's too large. It's small. Let's do little. Let's go back to our fractions of algebra here. And let's just take a little tiny widget of that and a little glue, but of course we should ink that. It'll never show up on this. Maybe I should take something darker. I think I should. Let's see. I have some darker things here. Yeah, there's just a little piece of, well, that's kind of boring, but it'll work. So a little bit darker tag here, and I'm gonna put it right about there. Look, I don't have to ink it. It's already dark. Huh, magnetic. Okay, so I'm going to put this guy here. Give it a second, and then I'm going to use my little tiny hole puncher. I also have a smaller hole puncher for this, but this one is handy. And I'm going to put it, well, that's not even close to the center, is it? Well, it's close, but it's not centered. So let's stick this in here. I can never see where I'm going. Oh, that was way off, but it makes it for kind of cute and random. All right, so let me get some string. Oh, this goes. Huh. Sometimes you just get lucky. Now we're going to stick this in here just to be a little. Okay. All right, guys. You know how this is with me. This could be a while. I swear you bring out thread of any kind and my fingers just stop working. All right. So all of you would be done and like having lunch by now. But here I am fiddling with the threads. Okay. There we go. So a nice little tag there. That's going to go in this guy. Okay. So now for this one, we could use him. My little cutie friend here. So we have not done the corners. I'm going to do the corners. I will be happy with rounder corners. And everything else can happen after the glue. All right, so let's glue this. So I hope you guys are all working on something fun for your journals and your life. I'm pretty excited. I've got a lot going on right now, and it's just, again, the reception here on YouTube and Etsy and everything has just been amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's go down first. So I see that, I got all excited thinking about all the feels, and I didn't pay attention to the glue. All right, so now our choices are, I like when it folds down, so I'm probably going to do that. So I'm going to fold this backward because I like to have the contrast of the two different prints. And then I'm going to fold this. How do I want? I also have to decide on which side of the book it's going to go. Oh, that's not right. It goes this way. The folds are over here. And you want it kind of tight and matched up to that edge. All right, so let's see. If I make it a pocket, I have to decide which side of the book I think I'm more likely to want it on, unless I make it a side pocket. Hey, how about, well then my little thing won't fit. It'll barely fit. I can make it shorter, couldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just cut this and re-corner it. That was terrible. Oh, it must not be straight because that isn't close to a round corner. Okay, that's better. Still not perfect. Okay, ink it up. So now we can make a different kind of pocket, so kind of an ambidextrous. And we could do it, oh, here's an idea. What if, fold it like that. This is going to be in here. And we trim these diagonally. So you just see a little bit of that. Or we could fold it again, like so. Oh, that's kind of sweet too. Let's do that. That's how we're doing it. There you go. Okay, so now I still have corners to round because I'm not going to get away from wanting corners. So let me see if I can do a better job than I did on that tag. Not on that one. Let's see. Something's very crooked in Denmark. All right, that'll have to do for now. Let's round these two because that'll also show off a little bit more of the pattern underneath it. So now it's just going to be a matter of gluing. Gluing. So starting from here. All right, so we could leave this a pocket. Yeah, we don't have to. And then it could go either way. And this could come in here, or a larger one can go in there. Well, since we're kind of on pockets, let's do it. Let's leave it a pocket. So we don't want to do the whole glue. We're going to want to do half the glue. So again, we're sort of making a decision that if we use this interior pocket, the clip is going to slide onto a left page, or we could turn it this way and it could slide onto a right page. So let's make it for the left. So now it's just stay along this edge. And let's give it a little bit more up here because it's going to get some pull from this pocket. Okay. So let's rub that down. And now just these two sides to be this pocket. Ah, unrounded corners. How do I feel about that? Let's round them. Why not? I won't ink them, but let's round them. Because that will make a nice little detail there. Okay, so now we glue just these two sides. And I am going to stick a little glue down here to make it want to pull away a little less. Oh, that should be inked. I'm just saying that should be inked, and I may find a way to do that. So now I'm going to just glue this down, but not before inking it. I need a little more juice on the old dauber here. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, technically, I could make that a tuck spot if I only ink it there. I mean, if I only glue it there. Oh, why not? Let's do it. I don't have a lot of little things to tuck, but my little friend could go in there. There we go. All is good with the world. All right, so now this can come in here. This could go in here. He could go in here. Something else could go in there. I will find something. I will find something. I don't have anything that's not a thing. Here, this will work. Look at that. Beautiful. Perfect. So now this can go on the side, or it could also go this way on the top, and this little guy can go in there. So there you have it. 4 things. This was a really fun challenge. I thank Corey for inviting me, and I'm happy to be here hanging out with all you guys. I hope this was helpful, at least spark some other ideas for things that you might do. And I hope I wasn't working off camera most of the time. So that's that. Go create, be awesome.